Is this thing on?
Are you ready, Matt?
You're listening to Box Office Bingers
with Matt Diaz and Ernesto Santos.
Good evening, folks. We have a wonderful evening's entertainment lined up for you.
We know each other. He's a friend from work.
Box Office Bingers.
And the only way that I know how to do it is to find you a bloody good down.
He's my friend. I don't have friends. I got family.
I can do this all day.
You know, if you put your mind to it, you can accomplish anything.
We're back for another episode, Box Office Bingers. Matt, this is episode 290.
That's a lot.
I know, it's a lot. It is a lot. And you know, not only are we reviewing the drama today, but we have a very special guest who, I mean, haven't been here in, I think we counted, it's over 2 years. This guest has been here this is her 7th appearance on the show. And we are so glad to have Jaclyn DeAugustino here for the drama review. Welcome back.
What's up?
I know. We're so glad to have you back.
I'm so excited. Thank you for having me. I know we were talking about this off camera. I cannot believe it's been the 7th time. We thought it was 6.
Yeah.
Then we went back and recounted, and it's actually 7, but it doesn't feel like that. It's insane.
I know. First time you came on, we kind of interviewed you on your life a little bit, and then we talked about Love is Blind season 1.
Love is Blind, yeah.
You got to say, I think you were the one who were like, if I'm going to do anything, let's do a reality show. And then we're like, I was like, all right, we're going to review a whole, and then we watched an entire season of reality TV and talked about it with you. It was an interesting conversation.
We broke it down. We went in depth. Okay, we went in depth in that conversation. We took it very seriously.
Yeah.
And you know what? Like I was saying this to you guys before. Like I feel like Love is Blind now is not what Love is Blind was in its infancy. Like when it first started, like that was a cultural shift. Like those first, like the first season or two, like it was literally insane. And I'm glad that we have that episode like in a time capsule to go back and revisit it, because I don't even watch the new seasons. Like it's too, like the appeal, like we were saying, is kind of gone. Like it's not the same. Sorry, I'm trying to get all my box out of there. There we go.
No, but I think it's
let me readjust it.
Yeah, I'm getting married, and so all of our registry boxes are like overloading my house. So I'm trying to get them out of here. Sorry that they made the frame. Ignore.
But to your point, well, so far as Love is Blind is concerned, one and only for me. We watched the one season. I'm good. I got my fill.
You didn't keep going.
No,
absolutely not. No,
absolutely not. We did, Jaclyn. We did that for you.
Yeah, we did that for you.
Guys.
We had to like wean you into watching stuff that we would watch, but we first had to get through like because you said, I'll come on, but I don't really watch movies. So like, what do you watch? You're like reality TV, or like, all right, what are you watching? Love is Blind. So then we went to that route. Then we wanted you back on again. You're like, well, you know what else I watch? Documentaries.
That's right.
So we found like the two
true crime. Yeah, we did.
We found 2 true crime documentaries that were like, I didn't even know what they were, to be honest with you, but it was new at the time. And then we talked about that. And then eventually we were like, well, what about a movie? And they were like, all right, now I feel like this is yeah. This is normal territory right now.
We baited you with what you like.
Yeah, the return on investment was good. All you need to do is watch one season of Love is Blind and one crime documentary, and I've done like 5 movies.
Yeah, you have.
Yeah.
Next time we're gonna go back.
Jaclyn was like, "This is not a good end of the deal."
She's like, "I'm on to you now. I got you."
Yeah,
now.
next time we're gonna. Hold
on, wait a minute.
We're gonna do like some sort of reality TV for the next one.
That's fair. I think that's fair. That's fair.
Yeah, that's my pitch.
All right.
For the next time.
Jaclyn's like, no. We done 5 of your stuff. No. We gotta.
It's our turn.
We gotta connect it to my world a little bit.
I didn't really think about it, but now that we're here, I'm like, yeah, we could do some reality TV again.
We could do it. That's fine.
Good.
You give us one. You pick it, and then we'll do it.
Perfect. I will find something. Trust me.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm sure. Are you still?
Trash
Are you still
TV is my favorite.
What is?
Trash TV, like reality trash.
Yeah,
I love it. I'm obsessed.
Yeah, are you still watching it daily? Is that still your go-to?
What? Like just
trash
reality
TV?
TV?
Yeah.
So honestly, my fiance is really into like dramas and like really great, like critically acclaimed things. And
we
so
need to get him on here then.
Yeah. So a lot of the shows we watch together have more substance than reality TV. So like we were watching The Pitt and we're watching Your Friends and Neighbors, and just like more.
I like him already.
Better television. Which I he got me into like Landman. What else? Did we watch something else? Oh, Paradise is another good one.
Oh,
like
we saw the first
really,
season.
really good. Yeah. So I guess like now that I think about it, I haven't been watching a ton of reality TV. I did watch Back to the Beach, the Laguna Beach reunion special, which was, of course I had to. So that's probably the last like reality adjacent thing that I've watched, but I'm always scheming for more, so we'll see.
I mean, but it sounds like you're keeping up with like good TV.
Yeah. Right, that's my fiance's doing. Like I love to watch.
That's okay.
Yeah. We're watching Running Point right now, actually, the new season of Running Point, because we love the first season. So that
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's really good. I love it.
Megan and I, we watched the first season. That was really good. We just finished The Pitt. The Pitt's so good.
Oh my
so
God.
good. Ernesto, you slipping.
I know, but I told you,
it.
these I don't know what it is. It's just medical dramas. It's just like a barrier to entry for me.
It is. I feel like, and I've gotten some like flack on this take, but I think that Grey's Anatomy walked so that The Pitt could run. Like Grey's, it's essentially the same vibe to where it's not really about the medical of it all. It's more about the characters and their storylines. You get invested and you start to, you like love them as people. So
okay.
But it's also intermingled with a whole bunch of like,
it is kind of gory. I will say
it is a little gory. Yeah.
I don't want to see that. Like I can't like any like cutting open. Like I don't do well with that.
Yeah.
Like
it is
HBO coming out, and it's it's
HBO.
really, they get into it. But Grey's Anatomy did that too. And I remember I would just like look away or close my eyes because I loved the storylines of everybody. You get invested in them.
Yeah. I mean, you kind of stay for. Yeah, you really do. You kind of stay for the characters, but also there's so much happening in that ER that it's like constant. Like you're literally following. You're in and out of like 4 or 5, even 6 different stories going on at once, and then they kind of like one person's out of the ER and they're going either out of the hospital, going upstairs, whatever that means, and then they're going up a whole bunch of stuff, and then they literally wheel in somebody else, or there's an emergency. There's someone's like from the ambulance comes in, and it's just constant. A flow of people, so like you're never bored when you're watching it. It's crazy,
and it's literally like every episode is an hour of the shift.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, which I didn't know. I missed the whole first season. I didn't even watch the first season, but the second one, I hopped in on the second one, and so I like that's different than Grey's Anatomy. Like Grey's Anatomy is like days, weeks, whatever at a time per episode, but I like how every single episode is an hour of the shift. It's crazy. You have to watch it.
Okay.
It's 15 episodes, 15 hours in the ER. Like it's in real time. And what sucks, the one thing I hate about the show is that they leave you hanging. Yep. And if you're on week to week, it's like literally right in the middle of the action. And then it picks up almost immediately where it left off. There's not much of a break. It's just like you can watch it in one continuous 15-hour loop and you don't really miss a beat at all. Because it's the shift. But I hate it because then like they leave you hanging, and then I was like, we can't stop. It's almost like you have to like watch the first 15 minutes of the next one if you're binging it, just so you can get past the cliffhanger, and then before they move on to something else before you get invested into it.
Yeah. Okay. I want to go back and watch the first season so I don't have to wait week to week and just like watch it in full.
Yeah.
The first season's also really good. There was a reason why I was winning all those Emmys and awards last year. Because it definitely deserved it, and it's going strong. You already got renewed for a 3rd season, so it's so good. And also 15 episodes, that's unheard of in most television streaming nowadays.
Especially, that's true. I mean, we're looking at 8 to 13 max
at best. Yeah, I mean nowadays it's 8 to 10. They don't really get the past 10 anymore. But this one, it's like, we'll give you 15. They were doing week to week since January. And then they just wrapped up in April, and it just feels like, damn, like that's a whole 4 months right there, even more so.
Yeah, I kept being like, this has to be the last episode because it's like it was on episode 12 or 13 or 14. And I was like, I don't know how long it goes, but then they left us on a cliffhanger on episode 15 of the season finale. So whatever.
They did, yeah. But it's really good, Ernesto. You're slipping on it.
Yeah.
All right. All right. Maybe Jaclyn talked me into it. We'll see.
There you go. Pitt season 3. Pitt season 3.
Okay. It's not reality TV, Matt.
I know. I'm just, Jaclyn's like, no. We said reality.
I'll make an exception for the Pit season 3.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
That's another year away. But it's also crazy that the last time that you were on was 2 years ago.
Yeah, which is crazy because it doesn't feel
We
like
were just
that
talking
long.
about. No, it doesn't.
Which is nuts. It felt. I mean, I guess it. And also, I didn't realize it was like the 7th time. So obviously, my like sense of time is very warped. So I don't know.
Well, I mean, you're
Jack's
getting
like,
married,
did
so
I
we
just talk to you
understand.
guys like yesterday?
Literally, no, literally. Well, because also I feel like I like follow you both of you guys on social media, and I like follow this page, and so I'm always like looking, watching, seeing what you're posting and stuff. So it just doesn't feel like literally 2 years has gone by. It's nuts.
It is. It really is. And now, like you mentioned, you're planning a wedding, and that's like a life-changing thing. It just so happens that we're talking about a movie about a wedding. So.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm getting married in a couple weeks, and I made my fiance go with me to watch the movie. And again, I didn't really know anything about it. Like I was like, okay, I know it's about a wedding, like period. And it's Zendaya and Robert Pattinson. And based on the title, there's going to be some sort of drama, but I didn't look up a thing. And so, yeah, it was a fun movie because I'm like, obviously wedding planning is like, there's so much that goes into it, like details, and it's, self-inflicted to a certain extent because you're getting like lost in the sauce. And so, but just like watching that, I'm like, wow, it could be so much worse. It could really
Like, I feel better. I feel better now.
Yeah, I was like, oh, all right, cool.
Yeah.
We're chilling.
When you finished the movie, did you go to your fiance and be like, so anything we got to talk about before?
No, I was like, what the hell did we just watch? Like that is literally what I was like, because you're sitting there and you're like, oh yeah, what's the worst thing I did? And then it goes in a whole other direction. I'm like, oh my God, I was not seeing that at all. Freaking crazy.
So let's dive into it then. We're gonna be talking about our spoiler review on the drama, like Jaclyn said, starring Zendaya, Robert Pattinson, written, directed by Christoph Borgli,
yeah.
Borgli?
Yeah.
Also the writer director behind Dream Scenario, which was a movie that I did not like that much, starring Nicolas Cage. But Jaclyn, we'll start with you. Your kind of initial thoughts on the movie. I know you kind of said it, but like now we're in it.
Yeah. So actually something that my fiance pointed out like right off the bat, which was like so niche and small, but I thought was absolutely hilarious. We're watching it, right? And when Robert Pattinson walks into the coffee shop, he was like, he just skipped the whole line and went straight to the front. Like all those people were waiting in line and he skipped it. And I was like, I don't think he did. Like, I think they're waiting for their order or like it's a different line. And so then they like pan back to him. And I'm like, no, I think you're right. He just skipped the line. So that was like the very first thing that we noticed, which is hilarious. But anyways, like I said, I didn't look up a single thing. And I was like, okay, I just want to like take this for what it is. Thought it was cute. And the last time I was on here, we reviewed Challenger. So I was thinking more like, okay, Zendaya's in this one. Like I'm thinking more of like that sort of a movie. I don't know. And it was like funny and honestly a little like cringy, like secondhand embarrassment throughout the entire movie. Like kind of a tough watch to when you're just like watching these moments unfold and it's just literally you have like a pit in your stomach, which like is not an enjoyable viewing experience. Like feeling that way throughout the entire movie. But I was like, whatever, I can get past a little cringe. Like I don't care. Then we get to, they're at the table and it's the Haim sister, her husband, and then Robert Pattinson and Zendaya. And they're like going around the table, and I'm like, as they're like sharing everything that's happening, I'm like, school shooter was not where I thought this was going, like at all, or like planning to. I should correct my verbiage there, but like, I don't know what I was thinking. Like I had no idea, and we were both like, okay, it's going to be Zendaya. Like we're going to think Robert Pattinson is the one who's done something really terrible. And it's definitely going to be her. And it was. And then I just throughout the whole movie, I was like, I don't know how to feel. Like they're almost like making light and like kind of joking about a very serious topic. And I'm like, it's like there's like these like punchy, like comedic moments that are revolve around like when they do the flashbacks to her childhood and she's like holding the gun in front of the computer and you know how like the restart button or the update but keeps showing up like that's supposed to be funny. And I'm like, this is funny in the context of this movie, but like I'm also feel like I shouldn't be laughing at this, like period. Like it just felt like I'm like, this is such dark humor. So anyways, overall, like I didn't love it. I just kind of felt like it was totally out of left field. I didn't think we were going to go there. And then once we did, I was like, I just have a pit in my stomach the entire time. And I feel like we're all laughing at something that we shouldn't be laughing at. Like, I don't know. It wasn't my favorite film that I've ever watched.
Okay. Ernesto?
I think I liked what they were going for. It's like, well, we set up this scenario, we go to this scene, and it's like, well, what would be literally the worst thing that somebody could? It's like that's what they said in the writing room. What's the worst thing we can have somebody admit to a whole group of friends? And I think that was probably the line. It's probably like her actually doing it or her thinking about doing it. But I liked where they put us, because then they set this whole thing up of like, accepting somebody's past, all about forgiveness. Like you can, like who you love absolutely colors how much grace you can give somebody. Like Charlie, how he can forgive because he sees Emma as a person as she is and not that worst teenager, like not at that moment, because she does go from that moment from planning a school shooting to the complete opposite and being like this gun control activists. And then they do bring up this point in the movie where like, so many people go around and they think crazy things, but they don't ever admit it out loud. So it's, but it is the fact that she went very close to basically doing it, like brought the gun to school. But I do think it was interesting that her friend who locked a mentally disabled kid in a closet actually did that and didn't tell anybody. Like she was the most critical of her, but I think that was because of her cousin who had gone through that experience. So I do think like it is a weird movie, but I do think that it brings about interesting conversation. Like it is an uncomfortable movie to watch on purpose.
Yes, very uncomfortable.
I liked it.
That's what I mean. I liked it. It's not that I think enjoyed is for me is not the right word for it, because it wasn't like a cookie cutter movie. Like it's something that you sat and you thought about, and you're kind of like on the journey with her. I mean, right away you get this. They get this warm intro about their cute love story with their relationship in the coffee shop and her learning that she's deaf. Something just I really like the editing and sound design, because even in that scene, like we cut to this wide shot of them at the table, and then immediately when we go into the stories and then leading up to her, the camera gets like closer and closer to like at some point you're like, it's like an extreme close up of just their faces, like because like just kind of making the moment as like intimate as possible as they could. Or when they're meeting the photographer and she keeps saying shoot, and then you hear the flash, but the flash is almost like it was like a gun pop. So I thought that it just kind of heightened the story a little bit doing these kind of things, because it gave you context. I also love that scene that photographer scene, because that's the scene we get in the trailer, and we don't have the context of what they're going through. So when you watch the trailer, it just comes off as very uncomfortable. But then when you watch it in the scene in the movie, it's like you get a deep understanding. Like that scene has way more meaning going into it.
Like that scene alone, like how miserable was that to watch?
Yes, exactly.
It was like the slowest 35 seconds of my life. Like I was like, oh my God. Like I hate that feeling. And I feel like they make you feel that like, during the maid of honor speech. Like, like horrible. Like you're like tensing up just listening to it. It's so bad. And then Oh, yeah. Sorry. Go ahead, Matt.
No, go ahead.
No, and then I'm thinking like, and then another layer on top of that is like when she overhears his coworker, Charlie's coworker, outside of the bathroom, and then that all unfolds, and then there's like he gets punched in the face. It's like, oh my god, can this get any worse? Like it's just one horrible thing after the next.
I think that's what makes the movie really interesting. Yeah, to you guys' point, there is a level of like, I didn't really enjoy it because a lot of the times you're just kind of like, it's kind of a you can't look away train wreck.
Yes.
And that's kind of the vibe I was getting. I'm like, this is so bad and it's only getting worse, but I have to continue watching because also it's funny in a way. Like I think because we have the context, everything else that's surrounding it is funny because the juxtaposition of that is that this is supposed to be the happiest day of your life. You know, you're like this is something, and you have this ticking time bomb that's like, you guys are getting married, and then yet you're also questioning whether or not you should get married, but then you're also judging everybody else in the process, especially with the DJ too, which we'll get into a little bit later. But like you're crossing judgment over somebody else on something that they did, but they're fine as a person. There's a lot of kind of complex themes that are being played throughout, but there's like this layered of comedy that makes it like almost okay of all of the strange thing that they're doing because you're making me laugh in the process. But then after you're done laughing, you're like, wait, like you kind of take a step back and you're actually thinking about what was happening in those scenes. And that's when this movie has layers. And this is kind of why I like it, because I was enjoying the ride, but also it's very cringy comedy.
Yes.
As we were walking through it, and I think you're right, because I think the movie did set up the first 15 minutes is like, we're all happy. Here's a meet cute. He was trying to talk to her, and she was deaf in one ear, so she didn't hear him. And so then they kind of start over, and it's a very cute way of meeting someone for the first time and then going a date, then leading into the wedding, and it's all under the pretense of this innocent conversation that got dark very, very quickly. Like clearly they're all drunk, and then all of a sudden they're like, oh, let's just talk about the worst things we've ever done. And it was progressively getting worse and worse as it was going on. I believe what did the first guy say?
He there was like a dog that was attacking his then girlfriend, and he used her as a shield.
He did. Right.
I thought that was gonna get dark. Like I thought they were gonna go into a direction of like him harming the dog. I was like, oh no. And then I was like, okay, use the girl as a shield. And then I was like, oh, okay, so this is gonna be like that bad. And then it just like went from there.
But even the cyberbullying wasn't as bad. It's almost like we got a breather in between, because his wife was I think that's equally as bad. Like I think it's horrible. Really bad. That's horrific.
Well, hold on. I want to go back to that. Cyberbullying is bad.
Yeah, it's bad.
In some ways, the cyberbullying could lead to somebody wanting to do a mass shooting.
That's true. Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
Yeah, we just glazed over that. I was like, wait a minute.
Completely glazed over.
Why are we already moving on when you said you cyberbullied someone so hard that they had to transfer schools? Like, let's hear more about that, Robert Pattinson.
Right. But I think that's what the interesting message about this movie is, that everyone did something horrible, but we're honing in on this one in particular, where in theory the movie could have chosen any one of those scenarios to heighten and just explode on it, because it was as bad. Now clearly Zendaya's situation was worse, but it's interesting because comparing to what her Rachel and Charlie were the two people who actually did something horrible, when Zendaya technically didn't do anything, but thought and almost did something horrible. So that's where the complexity lies, and the drama of this kind of ensues, because now you're constantly thinking, well, did this person, who do I really know this person? Is this person a psychopath? I'm about to marry this person. Like, do I really know them? But yet the question could have easily flipped to the other person and be like, well, you cyberbullied somebody who forced them to skip school. Who are you? but yet we didn't hone in on that. And I just find it really interesting that that's like, because a mass shooting is more widely, discussed, and widely publicized, that's the one that we hone in, because then people already have that pre-notion of like, oh wait, this is bad, that's bad too, but this is really bad.
But I
And
think
so
it comes down to like, okay, even if you didn't do it, still if you did, it's like 1,000,000 times worse if you had done it versus the three other things that did happen.
Yes.
You know what I
Right.
mean? Like,
Yes.
so I think that's why you like fixate on that one thing. And like Ernesto, you brought up about how, it brings up the conversation with Robert Pattinson. I keep calling him by his real name, whatever.
Yeah,
Charlie.
Charlie, sorry,
It also
Charlie.
doesn't-
Emma,
it
not
doesn't matter.
Zendaya.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
But about how, how much grace you give someone when you love them. But honestly, it was so frustrating to watch him like crash out throughout the
Yes.
movie and like try and convince himself and justify it, being like, oh, well, didn't you witness your neighbor in a car accident? And like
Oh, yeah.
that, because you had that sort of trauma, that's why you acted this way. And like that was his story. And then he was like trying to make it make sense in his head. And then he crashes out at work and makes out with his coworker. And I'm just like, you're annoying. Like, make a choice and stick with, like, stop. I obviously, like, your wedding's in like 3 days. So like, I get it. Like,
Yeah.
but it was just like so much, like, he was just like literally crashing out. And then only at the end, once he gets headbutted in the face and she like leaves, is he like, I'm so sorry. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, please forgive me. La, la, la. I'm like, okay, what?
Well, I think that was because like the wedding, like what she didn't really get revealed at the wedding. I think she stood up and yelled something, but like nobody else had any context. So like some people heard him be like, I don't know what the fuck she's talking about.
Remember, he stood up and he was like, she didn't do anything.
Exactly. Yeah, that's what it was.
And I'm like,
Right. Yeah.
But then
But, like, why don't
it
you-
blows up and he gets, they find out that he was cheating on her right before the wedding and he gets his ass whipped in
then
front of
you're gonna-
everybody.
But like, it's not like he didn't know he was cheating on her before
Right.
the wedding. Like, he knew that, and he was still trying to like make sense of it and be like, it's you. I don't know if I can marry you, blah, blah, blah. But then once it comes out and then the wedding happens, then he has this change of heart. I don't know.
Well,
It's
I
almost
feel like
like he
the
hit rock
pressure is, well, that too. But I feel like the pressure of the wedding is over now. I mean, you really blew it up at that point. But a question to the both of you then. There's certain things that are definitely not justifiable. I understand that one. The question I'm about to ask. But is there anything that he did that was justifiable as a reaction to hearing this thing about your soon-to-be wife? Like, do you think the constant questioning and second guessing was justifiable? I mean, obviously, yes, you cheating and you reacting irrationally at your own wedding is, to me, not justifiable. But
No.
I feel like, I'm not sure if there was a line that was crossed eventually, but at some point you felt like he was reasonable.
Yeah, I almost think he started off more reasonable.
Yes.
And then got unhinged.
Yep.
Because I
Right.
can understand wanting to talk about it and like wanting to get inside of this person's head and just understand and be like, okay, maybe if we have a conversation, I can kind of not understand, because I don't feel like a normal person is going to understand wanting to execute a mass shooting at their school and they're in high school, but just like wanting to get, like understand her as a kid and what she was dealing with. And I think that's more of a normal response. And then obviously trying to justify it almost to, or like draw conclusions for some sort of trauma that led her to do that. Like, I think that is maybe one step further, but I can get it. Like, you're almost trying, because you care and love this person. So you're really trying to draw comparisons or conclusions or, how this could have happened. Then I think after that, he started like going off the deep end. So I almost feel like he started off more level-headed and more things that I can understand, and then just kind of like went the total opposite way.
Yeah, I have to, Jaclyn, I have to agree with you, because I think Emma, I think she mentions it. She's like, let's talk about it now, because you have a tendency to like, she already knows him. Like, you have a tendency to hyperfixate on things. And then she called it right from the beginning. Like, you're going to hyperfixate, and then you're going to start to spiral, which is exactly what happened.
Yeah. Do you, I guess in this case, which is weird, is that you almost felt sorry for Zendaya for having to deal with him.
Yeah,
You
yes
know,
and no.
because that's sometimes I felt, because at this whole process, she just felt like, now here's this weight that I have to now deal with you asking me all of these questions on something that I already, I guess, buried.
But you have to understand. I understand him kind of like going through the processing. He's like, you've known this person for however, I forget however many years they said they were dating before they got married, but they were dating for 2 years. They're already living together. So like you know this person, but then you find out something from their past that's of her intent to do something, but that she didn't do. So he has it there already in his mind, where he can kind of justify. It's like, well, you thought about doing it and you were honest enough to tell me about this thing, but you didn't actually go through with it. But the only reason you didn't go through with it is because there just happened to be a mall shooting that day. Right? Because that was it. I think
Yes.
she was in class like the day she was
somebody
going to
else
do it.
did it.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, somebody else would have like she would have been now copycatting that somebody, and therefore like, so the justification on that wasn't really sound. But then eventually she got involved in this activist group, and then she felt like she belonged somewhere, and therefore those thoughts and feelings kind of went away because she no longer felt isolated.
Right.
So
I think I only started to feel bad for her once it was the day of the wedding and all of these other things started happening, that because he had told his coworker, so then she overhears that out of the bathroom, and then the maid of honor speech, and like all these things that are being made public, that she shared that in confidence with 4 people, and I think she was really drunk. That's what she thought. And now it's like this big thing where people at her wedding are talking about it. It's like super awkward. And she's hearing her now husband's coworker talking about it outside of the bathroom at her own wedding. So like once all of those things started to happen, I just felt bad knowing that like more people knew of the situation than really needed to know. Or like that was something that she was sharing with her maid of honor's husband and her fiance, and then it got blown up, and now all these people are judging her, and it's like this really personal thing that she never wanted to really share in the first place. That was the only time I kind of like felt bad, if you will, because like obviously once you hear it, you're like, oh my god, what is wrong with you? And that's kind of your vibe towards her the entire movie. But it kind of, not that it switched for me, but I started to have a little bit of empathy once I was, Robert Pattinson is like sharing this information and like canvassing people at work. I'm like, okay, now like, you don't need to be doing that. And so I felt bad.
But then
I get.
But then there's also this element of like, not only did she not do it, but she went the complete other direction and became this massive gun control activist. So I mean, to me, that's where I think he can justify it. It's like, so not only did you not do it, but you use this as an opportunity to help against the very thing that you were going to do. So I think they're like, it is horrible, but there is this very small silver lining. And I think that whole scene is really what she needed. Is she just needed community. She just needed people to accept her and be a part. She just needed to be a part of something. Because like we go through the whole flashback scene, and they're in the gym and they're doing the hug thing, and she's like, actually you can see it in her face that she's like receptive of it and taking it in and like making friends. And when she's in the group and they're doing games, and then they're also like, they have this meeting, and then one of the guys recommends that she be the main speaker, and he gives her this massive compliment in front of all these people. Of course that's going to be drive for her to want to change, to be a better person. So I do think like, as horrible as her intent was, there is something positive that came out of this horrible thing that she almost did.
Right.
And then he goes on during that process that he was like, did you ever go to therapy for this? Like, obviously continuing to question her about like how this kind of came up, and therefore like I guess her overall thought process. And I don't know, clearly like that's another point of the conversation of like, clearly she never sought out any help. Like kind of like that just kind of went away. And so I don't know if this is like revisiting all of this, and it kind of it just came out like in a drunken state. So like at this point now she's having to like I said, deal with him asking all these questions. I don't know what, like, even like, so the future of this, like, do you go to therapy? I mean, I think there should be some couples therapy involved into this particular situation. But I just find all of that interesting. And to your point, Ernesto, there was, I think, the moral, especially at the very end of this movie, where you can sense there's like this forgiveness that is happening.
Yes.
And even so much so, the director in an interview, I think somebody asked him about the social commentary about this movie, and he responded with, he said, this is a very personal story. It doesn't look like it's a societal level of deciding where your lines are. I think the movie's more exploring your personal limit and more the limits of how honest and how flawed you can be in your own private life.
Mhm.
And I think to that point, yeah, I feel like the movie is definitely testing the limits that you're willing to have, either sharing your private life with your partner, or how much you're willing to like test that relationship in trust and honesty. And like, clearly you can see the responses on both ends of this, because you can clearly tell she just wants this over with. She wants to focus on the wedding, but clearly he can't get it out of his mind. So like, yeah.
But I think it's true. It's interesting, because any relationship, whether you get married or not, like, that's what love is. It's sacrifice and forgiveness. It's that back and forth between each other. But this is I think it's taking that element to the ultimate. This is the ultimate test of forgiveness. And like, but
Right.
even with him at the end, like, I think they found a way to kind of bookend the movie, whereas how they first met is also how they reconciled at the very end, where they're in the diner and she looks at him and says, can we start over?
Right. And are you happy with that ending?
Okay. So I had one interpretation of the ending and my fiance had another. I feel like
Okay.
he's right, but I know that we were doing the full circle moment from when they met in the coffee shop where she's like, let's start over.
Yes.
But then she says, nice to meet you. And it was a handshake. And to me, that handshake felt like almost like a goodbye in a sense, like not like a hello. Like it almost felt like just like, it was good to meet you. Like something that you say to somebody when you're leaving. Like that's almost how I took it. And then my fiance was like, no, it's like full circle. Like, you know, what happened in the coffee shop when she's like, let's start over. But I'm like, that interaction to me felt more like introductory and like how you converse with somebody when you're first meeting them and there's more to say.
Yeah.
Whereas at the end, it felt like almost like final to me, like, oh, it was good to meet you. Bye. I don't know.
No, I'm with your fiance on this one. I think it was very much that also, but I think that tied into that forgiveness of like we're gonna forget literally everything that ever happened, and we're gonna actually start over. That's
Yeah, I mean, they kind of was doing that role play also, like halfway through the movie, where
And he said
they're
it's not
like,
gonna
"Hey,
work."
it's not gonna work," right? And then obviously now we're getting to the end of the movie, and he's like, I feel like that's probably what they both needed, is to forget about this. But given the situation, I would like to think that, yeah, they're just gonna drop it. But I don't know. I feel like this is gonna come back into their situation.
He literally has two black eyes and blood all over his shirt. Like, literally insane. Like,
It's because it almost feels like at the end of the movie, she's like, okay, I almost did something horrible. You basically ruined our wedding and cheated on me 2 days before. Well, I wouldn't say cheated. You kissed somebody else out of whatever your mental state. But yes, that is still cheating. And so like you did all this stuff in response to something that didn't happen, just in the whole situation. So it's almost like, look, you had your moment. I did something that I didn't do. So therefore, I almost just felt like, let's just break even and call it a day, But I don't feel like that's an acceptable way of handling the situation. Almost like just forgetting about it. That's why I feel. I mean, I don't know if this will end up. We're gonna get a sequel to this, so
I doubt it. Yeah,
I don't think so at all.
Think so.
But I feel like the next step would be like definitely going through couples therapy, even though you just got married.
let's start over and let's forget. But we have to go to couples therapy.
Yeah.
Yes.
They need therapy. They need something. Like every time they're like, let's start over. Like when Zendaya, pulled that in the living room, like that rant, when he's like starting to crash out about it a couple days later, I'm like, girl, like, let's come back down to earth. Like, that is not going to happen. You just admitted to wanting to execute a school shooting when you were 15. Like, I think you can like take some time to process this. So,
right.
But
yeah, I think to your point though, like she was very much just like, let's just forget I said anything. And I think you're right. I think there needed to be some time to process this information. I think, yes, there is a healthy way of dealing with the situation, definitely having a conversation. But I think the pressure of the wedding, because it was already planned in a couple of days, that's what heightened everything.
Yeah.
So I don't know if in that situation, do you continue to go through, but yet still continue to have conversations like, hey, I still love you and we're still going to get married, but we're not done having this conversation yet. We need to continue talking about it. And with that sense, I want to talk about Rachel, who is the friend.
Yeah.
And do you think that she overreacted and was basically being like, because she was the maid of honor, and then she wanted nothing to do with Zendaya, with this wedding, anything. And then apparently, like now there's grudges involved. Like she almost passed her up on a job opportunity, but she was attached to this project, and then she was off the project because Zendaya didn't really want to work with her. And there was like a lot of stuff that was kind of happening in that situation. That's a whole like subplot of this movie.
So I feel like with the whole work situation, right? I don't feel like that was intentional or like,
no.
Oh, I don't want to work with her. I think it was just more so like, I'm assuming the three of those girls, like Rachel, Emma, and the third friend are in a group chat. And like Rachel's not responding to the group chat, obviously, because of what happened. So I just feel like, she's like, oh, hey, can you ping Rachel and have her like see what's up? And I just think Zendaya, out of like pure just like embarrassment and fear that what she shared with Rachel is going to get out and impact her at work, she's just making stuff up and deflecting to the max and saying like, oh, she's busy, like really just trying to like take the fire out of this, like not trying to involve any more people. And I think her getting like pushed off the project is just unfortunately like some after effect from that happening, but I don't think that was intentional. Like I can understand where she's coming from in that sense. I can also, this Rachel girl, like a little unhinged and like,
yeah,
I get it.
Yeah.
I get that she's like upset, has a personal reason, and that is totally understandable, but just don't go to the wedding. Just don't go. Don't speak. Like you don't need to go out of your way to be mean to somebody or like, just like don't associate yourself with them anymore. Like she was just like off the rails. I don't know if like overreacting is the right word. Cause again, like I respect the fact that she has some like a personal situation. Her cousin was impacted by a shooting and like, obviously I understand that, but I just feel like she was inserting herself into the situation that she was so against and like was so, I don't know, just like disgusted by it. And it's like, then stop involving yourself and stop like poking the bear. Just remove yourself from the situation. You don't want to be friends with this person anymore. Then get out, leave. Like, don't go to the wedding. Don't speak and make it awkward for everybody. Like, I just think I understand where her, like this like, visceral reaction comes from based on her family experience, but just remove yourself from the situation and be a freaking adult.
But there's also this element of her doing this extremely horrible thing, never admitting to it. And only reason he's okay is because they just happened to find him. And it's so that they just brushed over it. They just brushed over it. So you didn't do anything? No, they found him. So it was fine. It's like, no, like that's not okay. Like her intent was horrible. Like that's not even up for debate. But what you actually did is just, I wouldn't say just as bad, but it's bad. It's very, very bad.
Well, you did it.
And she actually did it. And this kid could have died. Like he could have got, the lock could have broke. He could have got stuck in there. Then she mentioned it was like this old dingy trailer in the middle of the forest. What if it wasn't structurally sound and it collapsed and then he did die? Like so many horrible things could have happened to this child. And she's just like,
they could have never found him. He could have starved to death. We don't know.
Yeah. She's like, nobody ever found out. It's like, okay, that's fucking crazy. And then, but that's why to me it was like, almost hypocritical of her to be so critical of this thing that she thought about doing. And like you said, Jaclyn, I totally understand her personal feelings towards it. That's understandable. But it's like you got to put yourself into perspective. Like, you actually did this horrible thing, and you could have killed this person. You actually could have killed him.
Yeah, and it's like it's almost like her reasoning for justifying to herself why it's not a big deal. It's like, oh, well, they found him. It's like, yes, Zendaya's situation is different, but you could say like, oh, well, she didn't do it. Like, it's the same sort of like thought process to give someone grace versus another. But since it's you and everyone's okay, it's different, you know?
Yeah, totally. Exactly.
It almost felt like that because, like you said, everything was like okay. It's like, well, you know, what I did wasn't that bad because they found him, and like I didn't do anything to help this. And even actually to the point where they asked, "Hey, do you know where this person is?" And she denied it. She said, "I don't know." It's like, oh yeah, they were looking for him. It's like, I don't know where he is. How am I supposed to know? Like, that's even worse.
Like, you put him there. That's why
you put him there.
And
so
then,
yeah.
I feel like Charlie too. He like brought that up, and he was like, "Well, you locked a mentally disabled kid in a trailer," and she was like, "It was on impulse." It's like, okay,
what?
That's not really helping your cause.
No.
Doesn't make me like understand you any better. It makes me feel like you're just like mean and a freak.
But I think her reaction to it, I think it is. She's just a mean person. She even looked like she just had this mean, like, resting bitch face about her the whole movie. Right?
And part of me wonders too, like, if maybe that reaction is like, obviously, like we said, partly because of personal experience, but also because you just admitted to doing something really bad, and maybe you just want to like deflect it and attack somebody else, and like go in on that to kind of brush whatever you did under the rug and change the narrative. I don't know.
That's a good point. I think it could be some of that
really
too.
Good point. Because also I feel like everything was like, to your exact point, she could have just not showed up to the wedding. She wasn't planning on showing up to the wedding, but she felt like there was an obligation to be there because she was the maid of honor, and because like all this was already planned out. Again, the pressure of the wedding, like, well, we just have to get through this and then we don't have to deal with this again. But I think because there was a point where she, like, they said, you don't have to speak. It's okay. You don't have to say anything at the wedding. The fact that she wanted to, and the fact that there was so much subtext in what she said, I think that really irked me. It's like, now you're doing all this stuff for personal reasons of why you no longer want to be associated with this person. And to me, that's okay. But once you, like, to Jaclyn's point, inserted yourself back into it, and then just had all these mean things to say within subtext. It wasn't like overly mean, but like, obviously as the audience, we knew exactly what she meant by everything she was saying. And it just felt like completely uncalled for on someone's wedding day. And to me, I just kind of lost respect, if I had any left for this character at that moment. And then I guess one could easily say the same thing for Robert Pattinson. Like, once he decided to cheat on Zendaya, like, just because you heard and, you know, Zendaya said all these things that, you know, the things that you're kind of processing doesn't justify you then cheating and then going out of your way on your wedding day to hide it. And like, the same people are still involved. And like, yeah, it's almost like he got what it came to him when the other guy started beating him up. It's like, he was somewhat justified. I mean, sure, beating another man on his wedding day is one thing, and you were kind of also rational for that as well. But like, at least that seems somewhat justified. It's like, oh yeah, I mean, you're mad. I get it.
I get it.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead, Matt. No, I was just gonna say that, like, I feel like the maid of honor speech, the dad speech was fine. I was like, okay, we're gonna get through this. And then
he didn't know any better.
Right, he didn't know
his
any better.
Was rough too. His was a little weird too.
I was like, okay, this is like the worst of it, but he doesn't know. And then it just went freaking downhill from there. And then once the headbutt happened, I was like, we're done here. Like, it's horrible.
Yeah, I think probably one of the hardest things to watch was probably the Robert Pattinson speech.
Oh,
it was
horrible.
It was brutal. Like, it was because we gotta cry. First of all, my theater was packed.
So was mine.
Like, I had to. This was 2 weeks out from the movie's release that I decided to watch this movie on a Tuesday in the evening, and I sat in the second row because of how busy it was, and I was like, "This is insane." I thought I get my seats like literally last minute so I can pick so I can be away from people, And so then I picked my seat, and it's like you got the first row, you got the second row, but it's also full, and I was like, "My God, this is nuts." I was like, "Well, I've already committed to the time, so." I literally watched the movie like this.
No, we literally had to go to the first 2 theaters we checked were sold out.
Wow.
One was for 2 different times, sold out. Then the third one, it was like yours, Matt, where only like the second row was available. And it's in Coconut Grove. It's this really small theater.
Yeah.
It was only like 5 rows. And I'm like, I don't know, like second row, 5 rows, like whatever. So I had to go to a 4th movie theater to go because it was all sold out, which I thought was crazy.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's a testament of, if anything, the star power of Zendaya and Robert Pattinson. Like, I think to me that's a big draw to this movie. In addition to the trailers kind of misled you a little bit. If you watch the trailer, you do think this is somewhat of a, I would say, rom-com. That definitely alluded that there was some issues going on, but I don't think most people expected it to be this.
I haven't watched the trailer still. I'm gonna go back and watch it because I didn't want to see anything. I'm not doing the trailer. I'm not looking anything up. Like I just want to go in blind. And all I had seen was like the movie posters. That was literally it. So I'm gonna go back and watch. But are you guys, I don't know, are you surprised that Zendaya and Robert Pattinson, I feel like Zendaya, especially when she takes on movies, like they're very intentional and specific. And I just felt like this was not the typical caliber of movies that I feel like she usually takes on.
I'm going to be honest with you. This feels very similar. No, well, I take that back. I get Challenger vibes from this movie.
I did at first, and then I felt like it kind of went a different way.
I just think she's such a great creative that, like, I think this is a role maybe that she wanted to take on as a challenge, because I mean she's talked about it in interviews of, like, kind of just going through learning the character of Emma and kind of going through that process. And I don't know, I totally saw it for her. I think I don't know who else I could have seen play her role. I think she was phenomenal. She was great.
She's always great.
Yeah.
I mean, both of them, Robert Pattinson and Zendaya, they killed it in this role. Like they made me want to look away. Like their relationship, their chemistry, the awkward tension that was brought throughout the entire film, the fact that the kind of the back and forth, like you felt bad for Robert Pattinson, then you felt bad for Zendaya, and then you're like, what are you doing? And then like and then like how it kind of like they can maybe reconcile this by the end of it. Like it was very believable of their situation, and I kind of bought into that. And very quickly looking at Zendaya's like filmography, like she was on the Disney train for a while, but then she kind of got out of that a little bit, where like within the same year she did Spider-Man Homecoming and The Greatest Showman. And The Greatest Showman was very similar to, like, it's a song and dance. She was singing, she was dancing over at Disney. Spider-Man was the odd man out for me at that time. It was like, okay, she's in this Spider-Man movie, kind of playing MJ, but not really MJ-esque character. And then kind of going through the rest of it, she did a voice role in an animated movie called Smallfoot. Then she was back on Spider-Man Far From Home. And then she was in a movie, remember, Ernesto, we reviewed this movie back in 2021, Malcolm and Marie. She did it with
John David Washington. That was John David. See, this gives me vibes like that, where she's like, it's just a very intimate and personal role. Like, that's a fucking great movie, by the way.
I haven't seen that one.
Oh, it's on Netflix. It's very good.
Okay.
It's on Netflix. It's black and white.
Yep.
It's kind of, it was a little bit slow, but it's very much like these two people in a relationship just going at it in their relationship, and they're clearly at a downslope into it.
And to me, John David Washington is like up there with them. Like he's another phenomenal actor.
It felt very much like a play too.
Yes.
Movie. But then even so, then around 2019, so Michael Marie is in 2021. She signed up for Euphoria in 2019, And I feel like that kind of cemented her as like, oh, okay, she's stepping away hard.
Yeah.
Like you go from Spider-Man to Greatest Showman to Euphoria,
Yeah.
and then continue the Spider-Man train, and then Malcolm and Marie. And then as soon as she was done with Spider-Man, well, she's not technically done with it yet, but right after Malcolm and Marie, she's now part of the Dune franchise,
which she's fantastic in.
which she's
Right.
also great at.
But when I think of
So
like
like
Spider-Man, Dune, The Greatest Showman, like I'm missing one. What was Euphoria? Not a movie, but just like those roles.
Mhm.
I don't know. They just feel like so much more like purposeful and intentional and like big to
Mhm.
me
Mhm.
versus this sort of movie, if that makes sense.
I think I think what the tying factor between all those is like whatever character she is that it feels like she's very lived in that character. Like you forget who she is, like who she really is when you're watching. I'm
100%.
watching the movie and now like a couple times I was like, oh, that's Zendaya, but like most of the time I was like, that's Emma,
Right.
And that same thing translates to Robert Pattinson. I mean, he's fantastic. I mean, he's literally Batman. So
he's literally Batman.
That's so
But
funny. Literally.
I think even like the two of them, like coming from like Twilight and like I
Yeah.
said, like the Disney Channel machine, coming out of that and like servicing a certain audience to come out and being these great actors who are really commit to the roles that they come into. Like between, I think Malcolm and Marie, Challengers, and the drama is very much a different vibe of Zendaya that I kind of really like. I've never seen Euphoria. I don't know if I'll like that show. I'm hearing a lot of discourse about season 3 right now.
Yeah.
I've only watched the first episode, but it's very dark, but
Yeah.
she is such a good actress.
Yeah.
Like it's on display to the umpteenth degree. Like it's crazy.
Yeah.
But it's very heavy, very dark. Like I understand if you wouldn't want to watch it, but her acting in Euphoria is insane, out of this world.
Yeah,
Agreed.
and also it's interesting because like I watch a lot of actors that came out of Euphoria, and
Yeah.
Jacob Elordi and Frankenstein we talked about. Sydney Sweeney, she had a rom-com, Anyone But You. I
Mhm.
actually just watched her in a biopic
Oh, yeah.
of
The boxing one.
Christy, the boxing one.
Yeah.
I just saw that the other day. She was pretty solid in that movie. And then she did another movie too. But like she came out of like
The
The
Maid.
White Lotus.
The Maid.
This
House
is not
That's
a
right.
movie,
It was like based off a book series. It's one that just came out a couple months ago. It was like the
Yes,
Maid
the-
or the
the House-
Housemaid or
but-
something
Oh,
like
The
that.
Housemaid, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I read the book. And so I read the book and then watched the movie. Obviously, the book is way better.
Yeah.
But I thought she was decent. Like she was fine. She was decent in it for what the character is.
I haven't seen the movie yet. I know it just hit stars. So now I'm thinking like, do I get stars? Because I know Megan wants to see it, and it's like Megan's like, is it streaming? I was like, no, it's not streaming yet. And then they hit with the stars. Like, well, I don't got stars.
I
All
don't
right,
got that.
now we're going.
Is it not on Prime? I think you can rent it on Prime.
You can rent it, yeah. But I was like, I have all these streaming services. I don't know if I don't have to
I think
rent
we
it.
paid to rent it because I was just like, I was dying to see it because I read the book.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Obviously, the book's way better. The movie feels like a little rushed, but I feel like that's always the case.
Always.
It's always
like,
the case.
you know?
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, like she's coming out there and becoming her own star. Jacob Elordi is doing the same thing.
Yeah.
And Zendaya, I mean, hell, Zendaya's just coming out of this year. She has the drama, like her first thing.
Mhm.
Right now is Euphoria, season 3. Which feels like it's going to be at the conclusion to that. And then coming up, she has Spider-Man: Brand New Day, The Odyssey,
That's
and
right.
Dune Part 3 for the rest of her 2026. And then she's going to be a voice role in Shrek 5.
Oh.
So like, and then like The Odyssey is also starring, or The Odyssey and Dune Part 3 also co-stars Robert Pattinson.
That's right.
Oh, I
So
realized he was going to be in Dune.
Yeah. Yeah. He's
Yeah.
he's in Dune. Oh, I can't fucking wait for that. That movie's gonna be
So, like,
amazing.
clearly they've been working together. And then also Tom Holland's also in The Odyssey as well, and then Spider-Man. So like they're all just talking to the same people at this point. It's like, oh, I'll see you for this one. I'll see you for that one. But I think it just shows like these are the actors right now. And I think I really like, between Challengers and the drama, I really like the choices that Zendaya is making in her movie career. Because I just feel like she's picking projects that just are really interesting.
She picks
and
complex
we've-
characters.
Yeah.
Yes. And I feel like we've been able to have really good conversations here on this podcast and with you, Jaclyn, because we've reviewed the other movie with her.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, guys. I didn't like the movie. Like I didn't. I feel like we're talking
Actually,
about,
hold up a minute.
But
I wanna
okay,
make it
but you
clear,
could not
I
like
don't
the
like
mo-
this movie.
But you could not like the movie, but still respect and enjoy her
100%.
performance.
Yeah.
100%. I enjoyed her performance 1000%, but like the plot line is so puzzling to me. Like I just thought about it. Like every time I watch a movie, I'm always like, okay, if I was an actor or actress and I'm going in and it's just like the table read and I'm hearing about it, I have not seen anything. It's just the script. I would read this and be like, what the hell?
What?
No. But like,
Yeah.
obviously that's why I'm not an actress. But like, I always wonder like what makes someone like, how do you know what I guess it's the director and all the things, right, that draw you to something, to a story. But I don't know. I just like, I loved Zendaya. I loved her performance. I thought she was great, but the overall movie, I just didn't like it.
Do you feel like there would have been a point where you would have liked it? Like, was there a turn for you where you're like, yeah, this movie
I
isn't
think it
for
was
me?
the subject matter. Like the
Yeah.
subject
I see.
matter was like so bizarro to me and like out of left field. And I get that's the point, right? Like,
Yeah.
but I'm just like, who thinks of this shit? Like, that's genuinely what I was saying. Like what I was thinking to myself. I'm like, what are we doing? Like, how did we get here? How do we get out? Like that,
Yeah.
like that is literally what I was like. That was just, I don't know. And maybe I'm too surface level in terms of movies and I don't want to get that deep. And like, if I'm seeing, and that's, I think also it's not what I was expecting, like
Right.
at all. Even though I really was trying to have no expectations, period. When I think Zendaya, when I think Robert Pattinson, I'm like, it's about a wedding. Like I just didn't
expect it to be that.
Right, exactly.
All right, so how about this? A second viewing. Do you think your thoughts would change now knowing what happened for this movie? I know you probably won't watch it again. But
Probably because I've heard like some good insight and some good like thought behind it, and just like the theme of like grace and having those conversations for someone that you love. And now that I'm thinking of it from that perspective, I can appreciate it a little bit more. But my like knee jerk reaction, I was just like, what the hell? Like I'm like, I did not expect my Tuesday to go like this, Like,
you're just going home and you're like, what did I just what did I just pay for?
So actually
now I'm gonna go to bed and like wake up tomorrow and talk about basketball. Like what?
So I am kind of curious. So after you and your fiance watched this movie, like you guys are going through a wedding, and so what was kind of like your like conversation like coming out of the theater? Like what were your thoughts, like y'all's initial thoughts together?
We were okay because obviously we're down the home stretch now, right? And so
very
there's
similar.
all these-
You're about that pressure 3 weeks in.
yeah, there's all these like little things that are popping up. Like they're like, what, when you do your cake cutting, right? We're doing 2 different flavors. And so they're like, what flavor do you want for your slice of the cake that you're going to cut? Like it's too many decisions at this point. And so I'm like, oh my God, I don't know. But I'm like trying to like rummage through all of it. And I think my initial thing, I was like, it could be so much worse. Like, what I'm dealing with and picking a flavor for my cake is like a walk in the park compared to someone headbutting my fiance or like seeing my DJ doing meth. I mean, I guess there's still time for that to happen. I'm not gonna lie, but like, I don't think we're gonna be dealing with that. But you know what I mean? Like all these like random awkward, like cringy things. I'm like, okay, we're good. Like, I'm cool. I'll with picking a flavor for which cake sliver I want and what linen goes here and where and blah blah blah. Like, fine, sign me up any day of the week. Like that was my perspective shift after watching the movie.
I think also you brought a really good point bringing back the DJ and like the kind of the judgment that they had for this DJ. Is like, did you do hair? And she kind of denied it. And like they also did not know fully if it was her. And that was the whole reason with this when they were doing the wine tasting, that's how this whole thing started. It's like, I think that's our DJ. I think she's doing drugs. Is she a bad person? Or she doesn't seem bad when we meet her. And she's a good DJ, so she should be fine. But yet we're judging her on a thing that she might have done. We don't know for sure because we didn't get a clear confirmation if that was her, but they're like 90% sure that it was. And then when they confronted her about it, it just became really awkward and they lost a DJ, and then that was a whole situation.
But I think that was interesting is that before that, Emma Zendaya's character was like fully ready to forgive her and move on. But it's the fact that she wouldn't admit it and wouldn't be honest about it is the reason why she cut her loose. So I just thought that was interesting. Like in the beginning, she was all about like trying to forgive her, give her grace, and like being able to accept this thing and move on. But the fact that this person who she felt wasn't being able to be honest with who she was, that was the straw that broke the camel's back for her.
Yeah,
but we don't know if that was. But we don't know if that was her.
We don't. But I mean, when they showed it? I mean, it looked like her. I mean, I don't know.
Couldn't tell. Yeah, like I
couldn't
don't
really
remember.
tell.
I think that was done obviously intentionally because we didn't see a clear face on that person. So again, it's just all of a judgment. And I think also similarly, a scene we haven't talked about is when they were dancing. They were kind of going over the dance steps, and they were like really hard on the dance instructor that I think they ended up leaving. Like I'm not sure if they fired her too. Of like she was just taking this really too seriously, and they didn't want that vibe in their wedding. And I get that. Like it's like she was the instructor's like, this needs to be performative. You guys are having too much fun, and like your wedding does not have to be that. But again, another situation where she was pressing judgment on somebody else that you hired for them to do this for your wedding. Like you wanted this dance instructor to teach you these dance steps for your wedding, and now because you don't like how they're instructing you, you want to cut them loose.
Well, and also like, they're I'm like, that was the least of your worries. Once I'm like looking back to that, I'm like, what a time. Like, couldn't we go back there when like your biggest problem was when you didn't like your dance instructor and you thought she was too strict? So like, it has to be performative. And I was like, oh, well, it was a hell of a performance watching him get knocked out and all the speeches. Like, yeah.
And then also even going back to the photographer, she had literally she had no idea what was going on. So like, I'm just trying to have your special day, capture your special day, and you guys don't really feel like you. The scene, it's so inherently funny, and they're such great actors. But like you can tell in this moment that they just didn't want to be in the situation. They didn't want to be next to each other. And like, looks like you love each other. Like smile, like you love each other. And like there's these awkward pauses and they're not doing anything that she's saying, and then she's like, get closer, like everything. It's so inherently funny.
She's like, smile like you like just a normal smile that you do
like,
like you would just do in real life when you're actually happy.
Shit. All right, let's quickly talk about the box office because I do really think it's interesting. The movie had a budget of $28 million, pretty modest. And the movie opened to $14.3 million domestically. I believe it hit number 3 or number 2. When it opened, it hit number 3 because it opened up against Super Mario and Project Hail Mary. No way it's competing with that.
Yeah.
However, it's holding its own pretty well. The time of this recording, it has made $44.8 million domestically, $69 million internationally, with a grand total of $113.8 million worldwide. Again, on a budget of $28 million. It's making the money.
Yeah.
All of a sudden. Like this, I wouldn't expect a movie like this to make, over $100 million. But again, going back to the star power of Zendaya and Robert Pattinson, clearly, especially on the international market, it's getting a great amount of buzz. And for people who wanted to come out and watch this movie.
But I think it's the conversation that the movie causes because you're like you said, Jaclyn, it's not really enjoyable. It's very uncomfortable, but it does cause this like once you start talking about it, it opens up this like much broader conversation, which I think, so I think the movie does an effective job. But like, it's not just cookie cutter, watch it like popcorn, enjoy it. It kind of sits with you and leaves you with things that you have to question yourself and kind of like your life. I don't know. Like it was very thought provoking, I guess is the best way to put it.
Yeah. No, I believe it because again, I had to go to 4 movie theaters to get a.
I mean, yeah. To your point, we are an example of we try to go watch this movie, and yet we had to be in unideal situations ourselves just to watch this movie because of how popular it is. And I think that also just goes to like good word of mouth. Again, I saw this movie 2 weeks after it was released. Mm-hmm. So like clearly like there was a lot of positive buzz around it and good staying power that it's like it's not becoming number 1, number 2 in the box. It's not even number 3, but yet it's just doing enough to continuously make money and like good for them. Like I think I think it was a really interesting movie, and I feel like people are talking about it, but also not really spoiling it either. They
No.
just know that some crazy stuff happens, and they want to see what the drama is all about, which I think is also a fitting title for it.
Yeah.
But Jaclyn, with that, your final thoughts on the drama and your 5-star rating.
Okay. I feel like I'm like the lone wolf in
That's
this
okay.
situation. But and you know what? I will say to you, I saw this yesterday. So
Oh, wow.
yesterday,
Wow.
I had to go to the 4th movie theater to drive to South Miami to watch it because it was all sold out, which is crazy to me.
Oh wow.
But I will say, like, I think when I at my final thought when I was leaving, like I was like, what the hell did I just watch? Like I was like, this is not what I expected in just like a bizarre way. Not even like you know what I mean? Like I was like, I don't really know how to feel. And so I think I probably would have given it like a 2 at that
Wow.
point.
Mhm.
But now that I've heard your perspective, I kind of, understand, have a little bit more appreciation for the message they're trying to get out there. I'll bump it to a 3
Okay.
just for you guys. But like,
Wow.
I just think
Just for
Don't do anything just for us.
I don't know if it's because I didn't like think it was that deep. Like I just thought I was going to see like a darker comedy rom-com
Yeah.
situation. Like I think that's what I was anticipating. And so since it went a whole other direction, I was kind of like puzzled when I left. But I think now that I've sat with it, we've had a good chat. I can appreciate the different perspectives. I still didn't love it.
Mhm.
But yeah, I'm like right down in the middle. I'll give it a 3 out of 5.
Okay. Or Ernesto?
So I think I like that the movie doesn't really give you any easy answers because you kind of can. It's kind of open to interpretation for like kind of however you perceived it, and I think that's why it works. Showing that love isn't blind. It is a deliberate choice to see someone's growth and sacrifice for your perfect image of them. You have Emma's arc from this isolated teen to activists, and to me, the way they showcased it, I thought was authentic. To me, it worked. Like when you see her getting that sense of community and kind of being a part of this cause, to me, it felt authentic. It worked, and it made me reflect on like how much we're willing to forgive someone we love versus a stranger. It was uncomfortable.
Yeah.
It was uncomfortable to watch, but I think it's worth talking about.
And your rating?
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
what's the rating?
So let me see. I'm gonna give it a 4. I'm actually
Okay.
between a 4 or 4.5, but since
Wow.
Jaclyn bumped it so low and then bumped it up, I went down to a 4. I like that it's not your average movie. Like it's something
Yeah.
so different that we can have a deeper conversation. Like the conversation is not if the movie was good, because I think the writing on this movie was great. Like the movie had great writing, great setups, like even through the sound design and editing, just how they were able to use that to heighten the storytelling, to me is what kind of puts it above that.
Yeah, and I think you said it already. The same photography scene when they were getting their photos taken. That's a great example of like great sound design, great editing of like the flash was
Yes.
so much louder than it needed to be intentionally.
Yes.
Right.
Just to like almost triggering in a way that
Yeah.
like they just want this
Like, you
moment
feel
to be
triggered watching it, and you're not
Yes.
even in that situation.
correct. You're right, and you just feel so bad for them. Like I just want them to get out of this room. Like I just please stop this right now. And then also with the same token for when Robert Pattinson was giving a speech, you're like, please just stop talking. Just please stop what you're doing and just say, everyone enjoy the rest of your night and just stop talking, please. Like it just did never happen. I think to Ernesto's point, it's like because it was an original story that I was constantly, for better or for worse, I was laughing through most of this movie. It had a lot of complex things that when you take take a step back, you're thinking about a lot of different things, and yeah, you're not really thinking about whether the movie's good or bad, but more the messages that this movie was having to offer, and whether or not some of these situations are justifiable. Like, do they truly need to be together by the end of this movie? Do you think forgiveness is the true answer and they can continue to work on it? If they ever make a sequel, which I know they're not, but if the continuing the story, it's going to be like just more chaos. It's like, did you really move past this, or you just want this to be over? Like, to Ernesto's point, like this movie doesn't really give you any answers, but it does give you some sort of a resolution to the situation, but not really an answer that everything's going to be okay. And I think that's part of the messaging as well.
Yeah.
Like, this is a process. And like, if you really love someone and willing to look past this, then this is just step one of like, hey, we're going to start over and we're going to, move on from this. And it's going to take a minute, but we're going to do this. And the first thing we have to do is take away your gun mug. So like you have to throw that away apparently. And it's just like a lot of those things. And so like with Ernesto, as soon as I walked out of this, I gave it a 4 immediately.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm walking out of this, and like I didn't see myself going any higher than that, but I feel like that's like, yeah, I got something out of it. As opposed to where a lot of these movies nowadays, I don't feel like I get much. And especially this is a weird so I did a double feature that day as well. So I saw Mario and then the drama.
What a change of events.
Yeah.
I saw Mario in the early afternoon, or early, but like in the afternoon. And I was like, okay, I can do a double feature. The drama's starting in 30 minutes. Let's do it. And what a shift it was from like literally like mindless children's movie to then let's just talk about something completely different. And so I think maybe that also hid it too, because I was like, my brain was like mush by like Mario, and then all of a sudden I was like, oh, I got something to think about at the end of this movie. So maybe that has something to do with it as well.
Sure.
Yeah.
But
yeah, the juxtaposition there is wild.
yes. But Jaclyn, as we were discussing and thinking about the movies we bring you on for, yeah, I feel like there's a lot of like, we think this movie's going to be one thing, but then it's completely different. Like, Don't Look Up.
Challenge.
Yeah.
What was it?
Don't Worry, Darling was like
Don't
that
Worry,
too.
Darling. Challengers.
That's right.
Like, they all had very interesting messages. We
Right.
keep bringing you on for these episodes.
That's really funny
And
because
not like you guys, I'm not that deep in terms of my like movie watching.
we're challenging you, Jaclyn.
Yeah. But I'm very surface level in terms of like television and movies. Like Top Gun, love it.
Yeah,
like
great movie.
I'm very like one speed.
Yeah.
And so like
It's
I'm
the
like,
need for speed.
like I get it. Like now we're like having this conversation. I'm like, oh, I understand these themes and these conversations, but like
Not for
when
me.
I go to the movies, like that's just not how my brain operates. Like I just want to kick back, relax, and enjoy.
And it's
So I was
so,
like,
it's so funny because like when Ernesto and I are having these conversations, like oh, wait, this movie's coming up. You know what we think would be really good for this movie? Jaclyn. Jaclyn has so much good things to say, but we think about this movie, and then after we come out of it, we're like, oh, that's a lot of complex themes. Jaclyn love these kind of things.
But Jaclyn, don't sell yourself short, because I mean, all the times you come on, you have great insights. So
Yeah.
don't sell
Thank
yourself
you.
short.
No. I don't mean to sell myself short. I really don't. I don't know. I think my initial like gut reaction on movies is I'm not like, I don't want to think too hard,
get
like
that.
I just want to like enjoy and like watch a beautiful scenery and all the things. And I'm just kind of like, I was like, damn, this is dark, like I'm just
Not ready. All
Not
right,
ready
noted for
for
next time.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think now after having this conversation, we definitely owe Jaclyn.
But I mean, I love Zendaya, and I thought she did
Yeah.
a great job. I'm obsessed with her, and Robert Pattinson as well. I've never watched Twilight, like I'm not a Twilight girl, but obviously I see him in Batman and just like more serious things, and so I think it's like kudos to him. He did a great job. They both did a great.
Yeah.
Like again, if you're making me feel some type of way where it's hard for me to watch, obviously that's a reflection on how good of a performance that you're doing.
Fair.
I just like big picture, if I zoom out a little bit, like I'm just a little a little more surface level.
No, so we noted for next time. So next
Yeah,
Top
we
Gun
definitely
movie.
have. Next time, let's pick something that's turn your brain off and let's just have a good time with
Yeah,
it.
well,
Nothing too serious.
And then I'll dive in, guys. Like,
Yeah.
I'll be like,
It's like, finally.
Here we go.
Here we go.
This is now we're back to it.
Yeah, like Love is Blind. Like I'll write a whole diatribe on it. Trust me.
Look, guys, we covered season 1. Now let's cover season 15. All right, let's get diving into it once more. I don't even know how many seasons they're at. I feel like
it's not the same anymore. It's not the same.
how
Back
far
then, it was like a moment in time.
Yeah, it's also the same time where we had Tiger King. That was a vibe.
Ooh. Pandemic reality TV is a whole other thing.
It hit different.
Yeah.
It hit different.
That was insane.
Yes. Yeah, we definitely have to find something again. Jaclyn, you have full control.
You just
okay. I mean, I'll do whatever you guys want, but I'll think on it. I'll think on it for next time. We'll see.
Yeah.
You gotta all you gotta do is tell us what you want us to watch. All you gotta do is tell us and we'll do it.
Okay. What was the I thought I already like put out a pitch for myself in the beginning of this episode. I'm forgetting. Oh, it was the pit. But
that's all. What are you talking about? That's not turning your brain off. That's a lot of shit going on in that movie. That's another thinker.
Okay, but like that's different. I don't know.
Where they're like cutting people up. This is like a medical drama, super gory.
I have thoughts on the pit. Okay?
Well, I mean, I guess that works too. Season 3 of the Pit. We'll bring you back on. That forces Ernesto to watch all of them now.
Dr. King is my favorite.
Dr. King,
oh my God, she's my favorite one.
Yeah,
I'm obsessed with her. Oh.
But yeah, Jaclyn, what a pleasure to bring you back on.
Thank you guys so much for having me. I'm like, I feel bad I wasn't like on the same wavelength as you.
No.
I guess that's what it's all about.
But I think it brought about healthy conversation because you brought a whole different perspective to the film as opposed to just me and Matt kind of like gushing over how great it was. So
yeah, we talk every week about the same stuff all the time. That's why we bring guests on to keep us straight. Like we love this movie. It's like, well, hold up, guys, hold up. Wait a minute.
Chill out. So dark.
Chill out.
So I haven't been to the movies in a hot minute, so I enjoyed like going. And again, I love Zendaya and think she crushed it. But yeah, it wasn't my fave, but they can't all be.
No, it is. What was the last time you went to the movie and it was like banger?
Oh shoot, I don't know. Let me think. Banger. I saw It Ends With Us.
Even if you watched it at home.
I did watch Dune, which like not gonna lie, I did fall asleep. But that was only because it was like a really late viewing and it was tired, but I did like it more than expected. I'm not really into sci-fi things, but with my fiance, and I actually like really enjoyed it. But I have to be transparent that I fell asleep, but not because it was uninteresting, only because of the time. It was a long day.
What was the movie you said before that?
It Ends With Us, the Colleen Hoover one with all the drama with Blake Lively.
That's right.
Yes.
Because I read the book.
That came out last year, 2 years ago.
I think it was last year. I enjoyed it because it wasn't that far off from the book. Like a lot of the times, when you're like watching the book adaptations, it feels so rushed and like they missed things. Right. And I did feel like in that instance, it was actually a similar build-up time and like character development as what you felt in the book. It didn't feel like expedited at all. So I liked that. I'm trying to think. Barbie I actually really enjoyed. That was a long time ago though.
Yeah. We talked. That was 3 years ago, almost 3 years ago.
I'm trying to think the last time we went to a movie before this. Maybe it was It Ends With Us. I don't know. Oh no, it was Wicked. It was Wicked. Duh, that's the last time. The first Wicked. Yeah, the second one I liked it, but I didn't love it, but that's because the better songs are in the first act of the play. Yeah. So I've always liked the first act better. But yeah, the first Wicked, I think I cried. And I've seen it like 3 times. So that's like the last time I was wowed. It's just like so visually beautiful. Yeah. And Cynthia Erivo and Ariana Grande are so talented. I'm obsessed.
Killed it.
Yeah.
Did you watch the second one in theaters?
I did. Yeah. I watched the second one too. I loved it, but it was a little, because they had like original music and stuff, which was cool, but it's just not what you expected. And I feel like Wicked is so perfect and doesn't need to be touched. Like it's just a masterpiece that I was like, just leave it as is. Yeah. Just leave it, So
it's a hard, like that movie was so good that it's hard to follow up like that, like that good of a part one. And also notoriously, like Ernesto and I, we both seen the play on Broadway. And so like we and everyone knows who's seen it. It's like the first act is
way better.
way better than the second act.
Like the,
So, like-
the songs are better, like
Yeah.
popular, and is like my favorite song in the entire play. Like it's the
Yeah.
best. And I loved like their take on it. Like it was a little bit different, but it was still like true to the original song. Yeah, Defying Gravity, I absolutely nuts,
Yeah.
insane. Like I have no words.
No worries. You know, it's honestly Wicked. We should have asked you to come on for Wicked.
We should have. Yeah,
Then
we should.
We should have.
Yeah, we
Oh
definitely.
my god,
should've.
you guys! We would have been on here for 4 hours. If I had to come on for Wicked. It's best that you didn't.
The best thing didn't.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
But before we let you
Oh.
go, well, we do
Okay.
kind of want to we kind of want to get an update on what you've been up to at CBS and kind of like
Oh,
your
yeah.
life, and you're getting married soon, and you've also doing big things there.
Yeah, so we were just talking about it. It's so crazy because I can't believe I haven't been in Orlando for like almost 4 years, but I've been with CBS Sports for a little, like maybe 3.5-ish at
Mhm.
this point. So I started as a host and I still primarily do hosting, but then this year I did my first sideline for college hoops. There it is. It was in the A10 with VCU and St. Louis. It was awesome. Totally like a different vibe than being in the studio. It was so loud and the fans were insane, but it was such a fun environment to be a part of. So it was cool to kind of like go to that corner of our company and kind of see what goes into a game, because doing like the live games is so different. So hopefully a little bit more of that. I'm still doing some studio stuff, doing a different show that we have in the off season called the Off Season Playbook that I'm filling in for tomorrow, and interviewing Josh Hines-Allen from the Jags. So I'm excited to chat with him
Oh, nice.
about the Jags and what they're looking forward to next season. So yeah, still just hosting and stuff for CBS Sports and hoping to do more silent. That was my first time doing it for CBS in January. So it's kind of just been a grind. Obviously March Madness was really fun, and now they're expanding the field, which is going to be crazy for next season. There's going to be even more teams. But yeah, it's been a blast. It's been so much fun.
It's really good to hear, because I know, it's just crazy to think that it's been like now 4 years that we
Yeah.
worked together. Like sports seems like more your background.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I feel like you're very much enjoying this.
Yeah, it's funny because
More
like when we worked
so.
together, I just did like traffic and news and weather, and like almost like I filled it on sports too a few times, but that wasn't like the primary thing when I was hired, right? But yeah, it's a blast. It's keeps you very busy, and I feel like too with like wedding planning and stuff. We were just talking about it. Like I have to still have a sense of reality, and I can't be like in La La Land with like wedding planning because there's like shit to do.
Right.
So it's like whether it's the draft or now that we just had the Masters and the PGA Tours in full swing, all this stuff. So it's been super fun. And obviously like my teams that are obviously the Panthers are not in the playoffs, so that's sad for me as a Panthers fan. But the Magic are playing. They're hopefully going to win their first round series for the first time in like a long time. And then the Braves are pretty good too. Best team in baseball.
Yeah, and it's just crazy to think that just this kind of the career that you've kind of been on, because again, you've kind of always been tied to sports. So like it's kind of interesting to see like what we've known like from you, and then now where you are. So just congratulations all around, and also congratulations on your wedding. And it's always a pleasure to have you on the show. It's crazy to think that we've started the show 6 years, almost 7, I think. Almost 7 years. Yeah, it's back in 2019. So now we're coming on almost 7 years. In November, it will be 7 years.
Okay, amazing. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you. You were on episode 47. We're now recording episode 290. And we're just so appreciative that after all these years, you just continue to come back on and just, share a little bit about your life, as well as just like dive into whatever movie that, we decide to choose for you. And you're just kind of going here gun ho about it. And it's we've always said this before, the podcast is many things, but one of the favorite things I do love about this podcast is that we're able to bring people together, of people we wouldn't otherwise like always keep in touch with on a daily basis. But they were like, it just, as soon as you hopped on, it just felt like natural. Like it felt like you said, like it felt like 2 years since we talked about challengers. No way, we talked about that yesterday.
I know.
We we just kind of right back in, and it's as if we never left. And it was such a joy to continue that. And this is what the podcast does. Like, this is one of my favorite things. Is like, oh yeah, Jaclyn come on. Oh, we're gonna have a good time.
Yeah,
we're gonna have a good time when Jaclyn's on. It's much fun, and I'm happy that like we were able to continue to do this, and like this is the reason why we come together.
Oh, thank you so much. That is so kind. I so agree. And like, as you guys know, you worked in TV and just like different corners of the business, and you don't like most people you encounter are great, but you know, sometimes they're not. And so obviously like anyone that I've worked with that has been like, you guys are the best. And so like, no matter where we are in different areas and different parts of Florida or beyond, like I'll always make time for you guys to come back and chat, just because like I appreciate the good people that you get to cross paths with and work with in TV. It's kind of crazy. Like, it's a crazy business. It's weird hours and holidays and different personalities and things like that. So, like, you guys are the best. You're just like, I appreciate you. You're so kind and always helpful, and just that's not always easy to come by, especially in such a cutthroat business, So I'm always happy to come back and chat, and it's always so much fun, even if it's
weird,
not reality TV.
I'm willing to make exceptions.
Well, I mean, especially you're just weeks out from your wedding, so we're just very appreciative that you're just willing to give us our time, and well, we love having you on. Anytime you want to come on, you just literally, if you see a trailer for something, you go, I want to talk about this. We will make it. Yeah. We will make it happen. Just
perfect.
Like,
even if you decide, like, hey, I just came out of the movie, I want to say something about it. It's like, what movie? Let's hop on tomorrow.
Yeah, we will make it happen.
We'll make it happen.
I will think of something before the pit. I'll think of something.
Okay,
I'll
all right. That gives us a year. We cannot. I feel like it's unacceptable to have a 2-year long gap.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't realize it was a year or 2 years.
2 years. Yeah, we can't have that again. That was just a fluke.
Yeah, we're trying to give you a break. You are planning a wedding. You got a lot going on in your life.
It's like, she doesn't want to bother. No, we don't want to bother her.
Months, but we'll regroup after.
Yeah, exactly.
Fair.
Exactly.
Well, if you want more from us, you can always follow us on our social media channels on Facebook, YouTube, and TikTok at Box Office Bingers, our X and Letterboxd page at Box Office Binger, and our Threads and Instagram page at Box Office_Bingers. The fun doesn't stop here. It continues on all of our social media channels. So be sure to give each one of those a follow. We'll tell you what's new to streaming every Friday. We'll give you the box office numbers every Sunday. And then also you can see our lovely faces on our videos that we post on TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. We're all over the place.
Yeah.
Again, Jaclyn, thank you very much for coming on yet again, making it a really great 7th appearance. And hopefully we won't wait 2 years for 8. And let's just round out the 10 at this point. Let's get lucky number 10.
We're already planning, so why not?
We're already planning.
I'm down. Say less.
We really appreciate you guys listening to us talk about movies. Come back next week for more movie fun. You're not going to regret it. For that, I've been your host, Matt Diaz.
Been Ernesto Santos. See ya.